Hey, don't forget, after this episode, I'm still going to be covering the original 4 color trailers. I hope you're excited to see the start of that tomorrow. If you've been paying attention to how I've ranked the episodes so far, you'll realize that this, the final episode of Volume 7, is my number 1 favorite for the volume. This is easily the best finale the show has ever had. I've hammed up how bad the first episodes usually are, but the final episodes usually are more miss than hit. Only volumes 1 and 3 had pretty good final episodes, but neither ranked number 1 for me personally. First of all, in stark contrast to last episode, the fights are actually super thrilling here, starting with Juniper versus Neo as a fun way to see the extent of her skills against multiple opponents, something we've not seen from Neo before now, and she crushes it. She makes it look easy, and I really love seeing how much she rattles Ren with her Nora illusion. Like, you can see it on his own face. He's confused why it shook him up so bad. He knew it was Neo, but I think it's just realizing how much he's been at odds with her all volume. Neo's illusion acts as a visual to show what further siding with Ironwood would have turned into, and he loves her more than he's loyal to Ironwood.
And I refuse to starve.
This room is a tad dark. It's not always easy to see what their moves are here or there, but man, there is some much needed depth for Cinder, and this is a smart line that hints towards what we'll see with her backstory in next volume too. There's an awful lot of poignant moments, similar to the Ren and Nora illusion scene. Penny going after Winter rather than chasing down Cinder is a great example.
What are you doing? My life doesn't matter. I disagree.
And honestly, this exchange alone summarizes the whole debate Team RWBY ends up having with Ironwood. Certain lives can be endangered or disposed of for the greater good, versus thinking all lives are worth taking the risk to save.
What was I waiting for?
Oh, it just kills me. I've had elderly family members suffer from Alzheimer's, and it's absolutely crushing to see. Freya here reminds me of those sorts of side effects, and makes me instantly care about her health and safety, because otherwise it would be easy to take her quickly approaching sacrifice less seriously. We don't get much time with Freya, but these few moments of an old, confused woman just tugs at my heartstrings. But then, she proves she's an absolute beast still.
I had a job to do.
That's the best part of the episode, by the way. Not even close. Chills every single time. And she just goes into hyper turbo mode, and it's incredible. This is the most powerful maiden we've ever seen from the show, just due to her age, and it's awesome.
It's too cold.
And I love this excuse to force Penny to go in alone. It's simple but smart and plays into a subtle conversation about her not being human. She's hinted to this a little bit here or there. No, she isn't, but that's not a bad thing. And after all this excitement, screaming, running, fighting, it suddenly gets very quiet. A sad moment of stillness amidst the storm, and we get this short, lovely interaction between the old and new Winter Maidens. Penny taking the powers, even when she didn't want them, but knew she had to take up that responsibility. And proving she's a real girl. It's not like a computer would become a maiden. A calculator isn't getting these powers. Penny is, because she is real. It's a strong arc for her to have. She's had a lot of doubts, and this decision was so thrilling and bittersweet, on top of the fantastic animation, music, and voice performances. We get a real 10 out of 10 scream from Jessica Negri for Cinder here. The worst part of the episode. This line from Weiss.
You can't do that.
I don't know, maybe it's just because it's real mumbly, but this one never really landed for me. Or maybe it's the fact we completely breeze past Winter and Weiss actually getting a conversation here. Or Winter with Penny too, for that matter. It's just a bit of a meh conclusion of what's an otherwise phenomenal climax. Cutting back and forth between the Maiden stuff and the Ironwood stuff really reminds me of Volume 3.
To you, it's general.
It's heart-pounding and scary. Last time this happened, everything fell apart. Cinder got the powers and Yang lost an arm, so for this moment to instead end up as one with hope was not only a shock to see, but helps to highlight how much the story has changed over the years. They have the Maiden. Ozpin has come back and helped Oscar unleash magic, all for that light to suddenly flicker away as Salem rolls up with her gigantic whale, literally hanging over them like a shadow of death ready to strike. Well, As for how well that ends up being is a conversation for Volume 8, but man, the roller coaster of this finale and this volume on a whole was wild. It's hard to predict. We get amazing character moments, conversations, some stunning animation, music, voice work. Truly, a highlight from the RWBY team.
All I want to know is how we save Atlas next.
I gushed a lot about this episode in particular, and this volume on a whole. I think it's a great improvement from the already major improvements seen from Volume 6. We get really good interactions, and it's cool getting even just a hint of our protagonists being at odds. Ironwood's villainous turn at the end, the Aesops fighting the heroes, even the smaller things like Ren and Nora arguing. It's cool seeing fan-favorite Penny come back, and while the introduction might have been a bit of a letdown, her actual arc made her inclusion feel important. Seeing our heroes get fancy new looks, actual huntsman licenses, and becoming enemies of the kingdom really highlights how much they've grown and changed. Prior volumes, especially 4 and 5, can feel like they sort of float through their plot with little effort, but you really get a sense of them at least trying to improve, to make their own hard decisions, and it doesn't always work out. The only big hiccup for the volume is that unfortunate goofiness with the political plot. For something that ends up being so important for this volume's finale, but simultaneously so irrelevant in the grand scheme of things, it's a disappointment. I mentioned it a bit with Cordo before, but if RT had gone all out with pushing the limits of their politics and betrayals, I think I would have benefited the story. They have the tendency to think small. Oh, the problem is just a hole in a wall. Oh, telling Robin was all it takes to tip Ironwood over the edge. I feel like RWBY's hesitancy to dive into the deep end, to make any of the characters in the middle of this conflict actually make hard choices or do something more unforgivable, then it would have benefited this volume a ton. Because around that misstep, there's really something special here. A lot of introspection, tension, and beautiful scenes and moments that are easy highlights from the whole series. Volume 7 is fantastic.
The whole episode is a trigger warning. Stop being cool like we don't remember what just happened.
The ground was there and it was coming here. Fast. You said fast.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm posting a new RWBY episode review every day for the rest of this month. My beautiful patrons get the next episode a day early. If you want to be ahead by an episode, get all my other reviews early too, and vote on upcoming video topics, consider becoming a patron. I would really appreciate it, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you had fun, I know I am, and I will see you tomorrow for the next review.